Alright, so this is the start of the actual project we're going to be working on. I think this is lesson 2 of our series. So we're going to break this down into much smaller, achievable tasks here. But our end goal is to end up with a 3D model that looks like this. So basically what we have here is we have a bag motor with a planetary gearbox. And there's a 3D printed spacer here to space out the wheel. And then we have a shaft collar at the end of it. And all of this is mounted to a motor plate. And that is mounted on some square tube. And now this assembly can be mounted onto our robot and do whatever we want to do with it. Maybe this could be used for a game piece launcher or something. Or just, a way to mount a motor. Because if you think about it, this is actually the same motor we used on our 2023 gripper. Now, do I expect us to model all of this? Absolutely not. What I did was I went ahead and I went on Vex's website. And with commercial parts, things that we order and purchase, usually the vendor, whether it's Vex or AndyMark, they will provide CAD files. So usually if you scroll down to the description somewhere, there's CAD files, and then you can download, that's not what I want, you have to pick the right thing, the right piece that we're getting, and download the file. What that's going to do is it's going to download a step file. A step file is a universal 3D model file that can be imported to any software, whether you're using Onshape, SolidWorks, Inventor, Fusion 360, whatever it might be. And then it converts it into your software. I did the same thing for our compliant wheels. If you scroll down, there's some CAD files. You just have to make sure you pick the right one, of course, and it will give you a step file. Now, I took the liberty to speed this along. I downloaded these and I added them to our team folder. So if you go over to FRC Teams, VHS Robotics, FRC Stock Parts, we're going to start making a library of all the different parts. So for this project, we're going to be using the 4-inch compliant wheel, the bag motor with the Versa Planetary, and the 1/2-inch hex collar. So we'll come back for these in a later video. Right now, I just want to cover what we're going to be doing here, and also just start working on the parts we're actually going to be making. So all we're going to make is this spacer, this motor plate, and that metal extrusion, the square tube. So it's simple stuff. Alright, so if you look over here on the motor plate, if this is not open on your menu, this is the tab manager. It lets you see the document and all the different files a little bit easier. So we're going to make this all from scratch. I'm going to have this document available for viewing if you want to see if, the final results, if you want to follow along with it. Check your work if you're running into an issue. But we're actually going to make something from scratch. So that's going to be the first thing we do here. So let's go back to our document. So this is where you follow along. Go to Create, and we're going to make a new document. So what I want you to name this, put it your name, and then say vid tutorial. Alright, and this will be shared with our team. You're going to make a folder for yourself, but for now we're going to start with naming it. You're going to create a public document. So this is where we're going to be working. So if we go back to Onshape, now you probably don't have as many files as I do. It should pop up in your last opened. So you're going to right click it, and now this is how you add a file to the team area. So you right click it, you hit share, you go to Teams, click on our team name, make sure it's can edit, not just view, and then share. So now it has permissions to be added to our folder. So now we go over to FRC team. Now, this is where it is, but I want to put it into our tutorial folder so that way it's not getting crowded and we can organize this a little bit better. So then you can just click and drag it to BHS Robotics. It will transfer the ownership to Mr. Zuka because he's the owner of that folder, but that's okay. You could still edit it. That's just kind of how Onshape works, and we haven't figured out a workaround on that yet. So now we're in our BHS folder. It's under Documents. We're going to want to move it to Training. And I know you can, actually, I'm pretty sure you can just hit the Move to. If you right click, hit Move to, or not. We're just going to move it up to Training. Go into the Training folder. I want you to move it to Onshape Video Tutorials. And then you can leave it right here at this level. So BHS 1099 Training Onshape Video Tutorials. And then our supported documents are in here. Alright, so I'm going to stop this video here. I would say that this sets us up where we can come back at any point to start working on or continue working on our project. You will have your file here in the list of documents. And this is the directory. You can come back at any point. And this is a good pausing point for the video. And then the next video, we're going to start actually making the 3 parts and diving into how to sketch things and extrude things.